Hi there, it's Ash Silva coming to you live on the internet through social media, which is what we're going to be teaching today. And what I do is I connect businesses to more opportunities, more resources, more strategies, more people, more business. And one of the ways I do it is through social media. And in my business travels, dealing with all types of businesses, what I found is, especially with health and wellness professionals, I find that we are so good at what we do. We're so good at teaching yoga and nutrition, and we know that, whether it's the massage technique that we've got or the psychotherapy or whatever it is, from Ayurvedic to homeopathy to whatever the practice is, we're so good at what we do, but sometimes we don't know the other end of the spectrum, which is how to market ourselves. And social media is one very important tool in the tool chest, but it's actually a whole toolbox on its own. And we're going to cover quite a lot and quite a bit of it. I've got over 150 slides to go through, so I'm going to be speaking very fast, but remember, you will get all the slides. And what we've decided to do is break it down into 2 sessions of about 60 minutes. So you're going to get about a full day's worth of training in about 2 hours. So we're going to talk fast, listen fast. You've got the slides available to you. You're going to enjoy the whole rainbow spectrum of what you need to know about social media to build your health and wellness business. So let's start without further ado. Qualified to teach you about social media, because what I do is I'm of course, a connector. So I'm connecting you to what's important for your business, what you need for your business. I'm able to see your business from outside of the bottle that you might live in your own health and wellness business. I can see what you might need, I can make the recommendations, and I can bring the people to you. That's how I connect. And in creating the connection, I create joint ventures between health and wellness professionals or businesses, mainstream, so that more business can be done. I'm also a health nut, and that's where this incredible opportunity comes in for me to help you, because what I know very well is business. And I know how to do business, how to create business out of thin air. That's where the joint venture expert comes from, and you'll see that as we go along with some of the models I teach you and show you. But the health nut part is what I've been striving for the longest time to superficially get that six-pack. But I don't eat right. I love poutine. I'll work hard and I'll play hard, and at the end of the day, I'm absolutely eating all types of stuff I probably shouldn't be eating. You know, your breads and your milk and your meats and your sugars. Oh my goodness. So I look at this as an incredible opportunity of knowing you while you get to know me. And if you like what I'm teaching you, well, let's become friends on social media and let's help each other as much as possible, because I need to know what you know. And as you're going to see, you definitely need to know what I'm about to teach you. So let's move on, and we are going to pace very quickly with what you're about to learn. Let's start with the basics. Let's start with the grassroots and build a foundation. What is the ultimate purpose of you using social media? Of course, you want to build your list. You want rapid list building. You want to build a community which allows you to get to know them. Now, people buy from you ultimately when they know you, they like you, and they trust you. So that being the ultimate end goal, how do you do that? How do you engage in social media? What is that journey? What does that path look like? You want to, of course, use social media to communicate with your clients. You want to provide a forum to interact with your clients, whether it's and prospects, whether it's customer service, whether it's after-sales service. You want to take a look at continuing the conversation. So from start to buy to continuing the conversation. And you want to allow your clients to become raving fans. And that is the most important thing you can do, is you're going to find out when someone else blows that trumpet about what you do, people will listen, and the credibility is infinitely more important and louder than you doing it yourself with any type of advertising with what you can say about yourself. So that's what you want to grow as you build your client base, and you want your customers to become your best advocate. So what is the cost of social media, as many of you might be questioning? I'd like to reframe the question in a different way. What is the cost of not doing social media? It's not only what the time spent on it or the money with certain applications and platforms spent on engaging in social media to build your leads, your list, your prospects, your clients, your after-sales service. It is, what is the cost of not doing it? What are the lost opportunities or the opportunity cost of not being on certain platforms where your potential clients and your clients may be hanging out for you to continue to service them and create and build relationship? Less than satisfactory service, or no supporting community where your clients are hanging out. These are factors you want to take a look at, not only in terms of gaining clients, but in servicing them as well. So back to the three most important things that people need to look at so that they love you. And that's why you see the heart out there with just about every social media brand that you can recognize. And as you're going to see, there's a lot more than what's in the heart. People will do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. How are you going to build that? So where do you start? You want to start offline, which is where you might be right now. You might be at different levels of social media, but let's start in building the foundations. You want to meet people. You want to build on your existing channel. So you want to, and we'll get into what existing channel means, because that's very important. What are some possible existing channels? And there's a whole range that you might not have considered that I want to give you as a thought of where you might be before you even embark on using social media. So you're collecting business cards, you want to follow up with people, you want to build a community, and you want to do this one step at a time. If you're big enough, of course, hire a social manager and off you go, where you can actually take that approach. So again, what are some of the traditional channels that you have already available to you? Direct marketing and direct response marketing covers the whole gamut of mail, print, response radio, response TV, public relations, joint ventures, as I said. You might be doing that in a smaller way, where a massage therapist might work with a nutritionist, may work with a yoga instructor, may work with a gym, may work with some fitness trainers, may work with, and again, if you're not doing this, you want to take a look at the synergies that are open and available to you with other like-minded health and wellness professionals who may be able to offer a complimentary service that can recommend. Event marketing. We all go out to trade shows as well. Teleseminars and teleconferences, lunch and learns. If you're not doing that already, it's one of the most powerful ways for you to get out into the community around you, to get out to the businesses around you, to offer a taste or a sample of what it is that you do, to educate the community around you so that they can partake in your services and they can come and use your services. And naturally, barter exchanges. Now I know this barter for a yoga class, may barter for some nutrition counseling or some psychotherapy or whatever it might be. But this is belonging to larger barter exchanges where you can barter your services, and not necessarily for another health and wellness product or service, but for painting and construction and legal and accounting and a whole range of services. Intention is the foundation. This is very important because this actually refers to how do you occur. You might not be cognizant of how do you occur to other people because you don't even know how you occur to yourself. And people can very quickly pick up on it. In the unspoken word, with just the way you post, people will know, feel, and see you coming based on if you are a taker, a user, a destroyer, a procrastinator. We all know people like that. And those people do not belong in the world of health and wellness professionals. Absolutely. We're in the business of giving and contributing and taking action and building and adding value. So You want to know creating from that space, because before you even embark on social media, people see you coming. They want the good vibes and the energy that we give out, and that is what translates so well on social media. So keep in mind, what are you being? Are you being the negative, or are you being the positive? It shows through without you speaking a word. Where to meet people. So let's start from the beginning. You have discussed who you are and how you will be occurring. Now, where do you meet those people? How do you build your business? Business events, networking events, training events, seminars, meetups, elevators. Do you have your elevator pitch, as they say, ready to go? Do you have your 30 seconds? What if you don't have 30 seconds? How do you, in 10 seconds, decide or at least convey what it is that you do to somebody that you meet in the elevator, enough to entice and hook them to say, I wanted to learn more? Have that ready. Matter of fact, have it ready so that you're so good that by the end of that elevator ride, you actually got a massage appointment booked and they're coming to your yoga class. They know they need nutrition counseling, and they know that they need their head shaken up and a whole new diet. So elevators, checkout lines, grocery stores, don't forget gas stations, dog walking. You don't have a dog, don't worry about it. Keep walking, meet people. Nightclubs, of course, different vibe, but don't lose an opportunity. And then what is the biggest opportunity of them all is you will meet them in social media. So here's the transition again. What was so hard to do in all of those offline environments, because you're meeting 1, 2, and 3 a day, in social media you can do it within moments, and within a day you can meet so many people. So it's very scalable, and that's what we want to talk about when we use the word leverage. So now you've met the people walking in the elevator and on social media. What do you do? How do you occur? How do you become that contributor versus the procrastinator and the destroyer and the taker? You want to ask 7 magic questions that will show people who you are and how you occur to you, or even if they want to talk to you again, if they even want to become your friend or continue the conversation. So the questions are, you want to find out about the other person. It's not about you, it's about them. Who are you is where you want to go in a conversation, whether you have it in the elevator or on social media. What do you do? What is important to you? What are your goals in 2014? What do you want to accomplish? What keeps you up at night? Be careful how you ask that question, and be ready for the answer. But it's usually something that is the most pressing thing on somebody's mind. And if you have a solution, and you know what, it's interesting in the health and wellness business that you can actually put people to sleep with relaxation and nutrition and counseling. So it's just an incredible way to bridge what it is that you offer to what it is that people most need. So think about it. And the most important question is, how can I contribute to you? People love to hear that. How can I help you? Now, where do you go from here once you've asked the questions, you've got people engaged? You want to give out your card, you want to take a card, you take their information, you ask them to visit your website. And again, the most expensive property in the whole world is your first and last name.com. Please, if you don't have it already, make sure you want ways to register it inexpensively. Touch base with me on social media, and I'll give you ways to register it for $1 or $2. Never mind the $10. But let's move on. You need to have your first and last name.com. Okay, that's the real estate that you want. There's a new real estate game in town, and it's called your own domain name. But whatever else it is that you do professionally, have those domain names. You want to ask the people to connect with you on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We are going to cover all of the important platforms. Get ready, put your seatbelt on. You're going to learn lots of what you don't know already of where you should be, because your customers and prospects and potential clients are hanging out on those platforms, and you don't know until you do know and get on them. So once you've determined that, you've got the information, what do? You stack those cards in a shoebox where it's worth nothing, it means nothing, and you've got tons of cards on your desk or in your drawer because you've never taken the next action step, which is to put them in an emailer. Now, it doesn't matter what you use. I use Constant Contact. If you want to use it, let me know. and we'll get you a link where you can actually try it out for 60 days free. We can coach you on how to use it. Whatever you decide to use, get an emailer. Do not email from your Gmail or your Hotmail or your Yahoo, and because it's just not productive. You can't keep in touch and build community and create repeat customers and have client retention and offer coupons, discounts, and follow up and some of the stuff that you want to do with some of that stuff. It's very unprofessional to BCC your entire list, or, oh, God help you if you actually CC your entire list and everybody's got everybody's email. So you want to go professional with something that's inexpensive and it can absolutely be done. And so once you've got the email marketing set up, your cards are become contacts, you're in your email. Now you want to take a look at social media. This looks scary if you take a look at all of those logos. How big and scary is social media? And I want to give you an idea of how huge this opportunity is. And if you haven't embraced it yet, this is the new 800-pound gorilla, actually more like 900 pounds, if not 1,000 pounds. So listen up, because you're going to see how important, how big, how huge, and how this is the new frontier of where you're going to be operating, of where you should be prospecting, of where you should be connecting, not only with other health and wellness professionals, but with your potential clients. And I'm going to show you how to find them. So let's see some statistics on the different platforms that I use. Let's start with the monster of them all, Facebook. As you can see, 1.198 billion, that's billion with a B, users. I mean, think about how huge that is. That's 1/7 of the world's population is on Facebook. And you got the rest of the stats out there. You are looking at LinkedIn, of course, is another one where you want to take a look at the professionals and the way they are connecting. You're looking at about 250 million people on LinkedIn. Now, 40% of those pay LinkedIn Premium, which is anything from $29 to $100 extra a month to use the premium service. There must be something going on if almost half the people use premium services. There must be a productive way that's making them more money, and we're going to be talking about that. So pay attention that you don't want everything free, because if you've heard you usually get what you pay for, it's always, I'm going to say usually, true. So, because there are some things that are absolutely free, and I believe that us health and wellness professionals know what that is, and it's just about love, fresh air, and who knows, some of the intrinsic psychic stuff that only we know and do and provide to the world. So I'm in tune with that. Twitter, another 250 million people, 230 million people is 250 million people on Twitter. It's huge. Take a look at how you can use it, and if indeed this is where you need to be. Pinterest is another big one. I'm going to ask you the question. Raise your hand as you're watching this, whether you're on or not. And if you're not, oh my goodness, this is new and it's coming up fast. But you're looking at it mainly being a woman's platform right now. 8% of the men in the U.S. are starting to use it. Depending on what type of business you're in, it's more a visual type of platform. But depending on your business, this may be the one for you, especially if you want to reach women who are 30 to 45, who are interested in health and wellness, absolutely, and are hanging out on Pinterest at night. Instagram is another big one. It got so big, 150 million users already, that Facebook bottom. So if the power of pictures is going to work with your health and wellness business, if you want to have pictures of the lung before and after, the massage client before and after, or whatever it is. If pictures can tell 1,000 words, think about videos telling 1,000 pictures, and that's YouTube. YouTube, I believe, is the ultimate way for all of us to get our message out, because that's video. Again, 1,000 pictures is worth 1,000,000 words, and there's a very strategic ways in which to get your message out with YouTube. that you know, if you take a look at YouTube, which you may have thought is a distribution channel for videos, well, think again. It's the second largest search engine in the world, and the fact that Google bought them, think about it. Google's the first, YouTube's the second. If you want search, if you want to get found as a health and wellness professional, we're going to be teaching you about different ways of ranking in the organic search, but also ranking in paid search, which is, I believe, the new frontier that you really, really, really want to take a look at with what keywords you're going to get and buy. We'll move through these fast, but I want to give you an impression of how big social media is, and with some of these, you know, WhatsApp and WeChat and things that you may not have even heard of that are huge with the type of followings that they got out here, and they're just growing all the time. Time spent on social media. You'll have all these slides available to you, so I'm going to move very fast because, as I said, we've got a full day worth of training for you in the 2 60-minute segments that we want to get out there to you. So I want to pack this in with lots and lots and lots of stuff. You can pause anytime you want. I prefer that you pause, and I want to make sure that I'm taking advantage of the fact that I'm delivering great information to the advanced user as well. So if you've never started a LinkedIn account, we'll go there for you very briefly, but I want to also take advantage of leveraging LinkedIn in very, very big ways for people who want to become advanced users as well. So let's move on. This is USA social media use, with how many people have started these accounts, how many people are using them. The same numbers extrapolate to Canada at 1/10 the numbers. This slide here will tell you where do the different age groups hang out. So remember, you want to pick where your demographic, where your potential customers hanging out. So you want to hang out there to meet them where they hang out and not where you want to hang out, so that you can build your business by leveraging social media. Okay, so those were the colors with where your demographics are hanging out. You've got lots and lots of statistics that I'm going to skip through very fast. You can read through where the average user spends its time on Facebook and Tumblr and Pinterest. Here's some very important facts. Take a look at this. If 33% of consumers cite social networks as a way they discover new brands or products and services, what does that mean? It means 1/3 of the people are actually using social media to buy. Are you on social media before they buy your health and wellness products and services? 60% of LinkedIn users have clicked on an ad on the site. Are you advertising on LinkedIn where it's so inexpensive right now because it's a new frontier and people haven't discovered how to use the advertising? About 60% of the people are clicking on those ads. 100% of business decision makers use social media for their work purposes. Are you on social media where wellness, where they're going to find you? 47%, almost half of internet users share photos or videos that they've found online. Are your photos of health and wellness, are your videos highlighting health and wellness on there so that they can be found? 25%, or 1/4 of consumers who complain about products on Facebook or Twitter expect a response within 1 hour. Again, here's the cost of not being on social media, so get it, that even if you're not on social media because you don't want to be on social media, you want to be on social media because if people are talking about you and you're not on social media, you are oblivious to the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the other people who get on and say, I agree that person is so-and-so, or that company doesn't do that, and before you know it, you've got a whole community talking about you and you don't even know. So, what is social media marketing? The definition is to positively influence consumers toward a website, company, brand, product, service, or a person. Basically, it's telling you that if someone else blows your horn, it sounds much bigger than you doing it yourself. So if a trusted third-party source as opposed to the brand or company itself does it, it's much better. So how do we do it where our customers and our clients are so happy with that massage, so relaxed with that yoga, so incredibly healthy with the new nutritional program, the weight loss, the effect of their gym membership, and their training, that they say, wow, wow, you've got to go here, you've got to talk to so and so. And so that's really, again, the ultimate game. I keep going back to it. How do we develop that customer, that client, into becoming our raving fan? What does social media marketing do? Again, it enables others to advocate on behalf of ourselves. Very important concept in philosophy. And here's something to really guide you into the magnitude of how social media works. If you understand this, you're going to get what social media is. So when we talk on the phone, it's a one-on-one communication. When we meet on the street, it's a one-on-one communication. When we pull up a chat, it's a one-on-one communication. I'm talking to you, you're talking to me. When we're on this video, it can be a one-on-one, but the video is actually going out to a lot of people, so it becomes a one-on-many. When I send an email out to the 16,000 business owners or entrepreneurs or real estate investors that I have on my email list, it's a one-on-many. I deliver a message, 16,000 people get it. When you speak on stage and there's 5 or 50 or 500 people in the audience, it's a one-on-many communication. So we've moved from a one-to-one to a one-to-many communication. Now, the only difference or the graduation becomes the many-to-many communication. That's what social media does. So when you post on my page, my 5,000 friends get to see your post. When I post back to you on your post, your 5,000 friends get to see each other communicating on the wall, where now their 5,000 friends, etc., 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 get to see that, and that becomes a communication that is many-to-many. One-to-one, one-to-many. Many-to-many is the name of the game, because people you don't even know, who don't even know, who know each other, get to know you and how incredible, how great, how fantastic you are at whatever you do in the world of health and wellness, and they will come to you based on that many-to-many communication and conversation. So, where do I, as a marketer, spend my time? You want to define these 4 questions, really, to find out where it is that you want to go. You ask yourself, first of all, who is your target market? And the parallel questions, of course, who am I? Who am I? Who are you? Who are you? Because ultimately it does come down to that. What is it that's making you happy? What is your vision and your mission? What is it that you really want to do? And I know this gets philosophical, but until we go to this place, we're kind of spinning our wheels on social media, and we get into that waste of time mentality because we're in the wrong place. So once you determine who you are and who do you want to serve, you've decided that, then you want to take a look at that is your target market and what is your best strategy to get to the people that you want to serve. And that strategy will have to do with what platforms you use, and we're going to be talking about all the platforms, so you can decide where it is that you want to pick first to hang out, and second and third, etc., based on where your customers and prospects and clients are hanging out. So just a little thing about the different social media. Facebook is about people. You go there to find the people you already know, family, friends, high school classmates. Google Plus is about your passion. It's where you develop niches and circles in the areas you're passionate in, the hobbies that you have. LinkedIn, of course, you're connecting professionally. Twitter is how do you feel today, but please get beyond the food that you ate today or the weather and that sort of stuff, because, you know, it really comes down to a philosophy that I would love for you to remember, that, you know, small minds talk about these little things like the weather or the food that they ate. Mediocre minds talk about other people, and great minds talk about ideas. So when we talk about perception, talk about ideas. Talk about the great mind and the value that you can create, and that's really where you want to go with everything you do in social media. Pinterest, pictures and visual, Google Hangouts is something I'm so excited about. We're actually coming to you on a live on a Google Hangout at this point as I record this, and you're going to listen to this on a recording, but it was actually created live on a Hangout. And when you can get your market out there, or to your market out there with your message on something live like that, where people can watch you on whatever channel that they're on, whether it's a Facebook or on your website or on Google Plus or on YouTube. It's an incredible thing, especially if you're the best at what you do, especially if you're an expert that can get a message out that people will want to watch and gain value from. So focus your marketing where your customer is. Here's another nice little way to explain it, and it's kind of funny, but for you to get it, that, you know, Facebook is, if it's described in with coffee, say as an example, Facebook is where you say, I like coffee. Pinterest is where here's a collection of pictures and recipes of coffee drinks. Twitter, of course, is I'm drinking coffee. YouTube, watch me drink coffee, of course, is the video version. Now, this is an older slide, but I love the jokes around it. So if you look at Google Plus, is I'm a Google employee who drinks coffee for Google Plus. Well, you know what? Long gone are those days when that particular statement applies. Because, yeah, when Google Plus first came out, everyone said, well, that's just for Google employees. Well, guess what? Those Google employees grew to about 1.1 billion people. It's almost where Facebook is today, and it's catching up fast, as you're going to see from a graph. It's going to, from the way I see it, overtake Facebook. So this is something you really want to pay attention to. LinkedIn, of course, I'm good at drinking coffee, and Instagram is now, here's a vintage pic of me drinking coffee. It's all about pictures. This slide will tell you about the cross-platform usage. So if your market happens to be a Twitter user, what do they also use next and next and next? If they happen to be a Pinterest user, what do they use next? So you want to take a look at, once you pick your platform, but what is the next platform that your target market would be hanging out at, because you want to take on that platform. So if you think this looks confusing with all of those, you know, this is something actually that we want to cover so fast, 1 day's worth of training in 2 hours, but really this could easily be a full week. And naturally, if there's anything we can help you with, we cover this in some of the courses that we offer and some of the trainings that we offer, from leveraging social media to email marketing and how to really get into email marketing. And these are things that you need to learn anyway. If you've chosen Facebook, and we'll cover some of it here, you want to take a look at Facebook and Facebook pages and developing, you know, you can even have membership sites in Facebook for absolutely free. There's so much that you can do. LinkedIn, if you want to connect with professionals, if you want to get out and do lunch and learns, and you want to get onto the career track out there, LinkedIn is a must. Twitter, absolutely. Google Plus, with Gmail and Google Drive and all of the applications available from Google, give you a full suite of products you can use absolutely free to build your business. And with Hangouts and YouTube, it's a no-brainer to get your message out. With the power of video, live broadcasting, you can have your own TV show, for goodness sakes, with the power of YouTube and Hangouts put together with some other technology that we actually can show you how to use, where you can have your own TV show on the web, where you're not limited to a cable channel that has a certain geographical reach, or even some of the national channels that have a national reach. On web TV, it's a new frontier. On web TV, especially if you've got that niche that you are now becoming the best at, the expert, the trusted authority, that niche will go out to the world. And if you're doing it the right way, the world is coming to you and opting in and becoming a part of your community. So you get to lead that community. So this is bigger than any TV show. It's actually web TV, and it's the new frontier. And Google Plus with YouTube and Hangouts actually makes that possible. And we're going to cover that. So let's move on fast. Instagram, Flickr, Tumblr, Pinterest. Paid advertising is my favorite. If you don't know what you're doing, and most people don't, you want to hire someone to at least guide you, advise you, and probably even do it for you. It's like a good accountant. You pay them slightly more and you pay for their services, but they'll save you 10 times in the long run because they know how to shop it. They know how to keyword. They know how to buy the right keywords and how to, you know, set the parameters so that they're actually making you money because they know what they're doing. But it's absolutely the newest frontier in which you must take advantage of it, because it's so inexpensive right now, because most people don't know it. And for those who are, this was the frontier where search engine optimization used to be, and you know, in the good old days when people made a lot of money on a daily basis. Well, this is the place where you can do it with your health and wellness business and separate yourself from the other people who don't know what they're doing in that area. We'll cover some of it as well, but that itself can easily be a 6-month course that once we get into the details of it. So anyway, we're not here to sell you anything. We're here to give you complete content. So I want you to rest assured that what you're going to be learning today in these next 2 60-minute segments is pure learning. And this is just something that we want to do for you, because we know so much on it. The more we share, the more our cup fills. And so if we can empty it to you in the next 2 60-minute sessions, it'll be an absolute pleasure. So listen up fast. Leveraging social media. We want to talk about multi-channel internet marketing, the key platforms to use, where to find your audience, how to find them, how to build community. You, as a leader in the world of health and wellness, want to build your community around you. You want to make sure that as a nutritionist, you've got the people following you, because you can guide them and show them that the fuel that they fuel their bodies with is much more important than that unleaded gas they put in their car that they're more worried about. And so that's where we separate ourselves as the leaders and the trusted authorities. Where to find the audience, generating leads, naturally monetizing. Because if you're not making money, everything becomes a waste of time. It's like if you're not taking action, it doesn't matter if you listen to these slides and watch them twice, and you have a whole bunch of dreams of what you're going to do. If the rubber doesn't hit the road and you don't take action, you don't make money, and you don't monetize because you don't actually leverage it in action, it means nothing. It's just fluff, it's just stuff. So let's move on to the first thing that you want to do. When you've asked all those questions, you've done all that stuff, you want to get them into an email marketing list. We talked about it briefly before. Email marketing is the hub. It doesn't matter if you reach them on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, Snapchat, Vines, it doesn't matter. You want to build them in, you want them to opt in, you want to capture their email because you want that community building. You want to be in touch with them again. So you want to follow up, promote, integrate with your other social media. You build lists with email marketing. Autoresponders allows you to have a sequence of automated emails that go out that are appropriate to the reason that person opted in, and you can have different series of autoresponders go out that will, you know, free you up from keeping in touch with everybody that opts in. And once you have a series of 5 or 7 or 10 autoresponders that go out, that may be the time when you can call them after the 10th one, when they've already had 10 touches from you, and they may be more apt to buy or more conducive to buy or to learn more about you, because you've given them so much value with your 5, 7, and 10 emails. Sign-up forms, of course, very important. You've got to automate these, because by the time you build your list to where you really want it to go, where you've got a sizable community, you don't have time to do all this stuff manually. So you've got to automate even your events and your list segmentation with who's buying what and how frequently and who's buying how much worth of dollar volume. So there's ways to do all of that and to automate the whole process. Again, which social media platform should I use? That's the most important thing you can ask yourself when it comes to, are you going to waste your time on Facebook because, you know, the people that you want to meet are on LinkedIn or Pinterest, or that you should be on Instagram and you don't even know how to get on it? You don't want to try everything at once. So pick one when you determine what platform that you want. Pick the one, of course, where your customers are, your prospects are. Focus on that one, build it up, get comfortable with it, add a second one. The second one is going to also, you can get comfortable with it, add a third one as you move on and so forth. But start with one and make sure you get it done. Multi-channel approach. So you want to find your customers on their channels, interact on those channels, platforms primarily, which is, again, if your people are on Facebook, get them on Facebook. Build your community there, create interaction, buzz, contribute, contribute, give, and give first. Always add to the conversation, provide value, do not spam, don't keep pasting your link all over the place. If you've got some sort of network marketing, health and wellness product, whatever it is, if it's something ingestible, if it's a lotion, a potion, an oil, or whatever it is that you do not start spamming links. There's a way to create value by showing who you are, showing your knowledge, and inspiring people to take that knowledge and to educate them with that knowledge so that they're now aware of the fact that perhaps your product and service can help them live a better quality of life and enhance their lifestyle. So, how do we pick our platform? We talked about an avatar. What is an avatar? It's a crystal clear picture of your ideal client. Whatever you do, if you're a nutritionist, you're a yoga instructor, you're a teacher, you're a psychotherapist, you own a gym, you're a fitness instructor, you have products and services, you're a chiropractor, a doctor of some sort, you want to know who is your ideal client, exactly what is his or her name, age, profession, family. You want to create a one-page detailed description, and you want to address all your communication to that one person. You're actually getting to know him or her by the type of car they drive, by the type of profession they have, by the type of income they earn, by the number of kids they optimally have, probably by the amount they even weigh, depending, of course. You want to, if you're in the weight loss game, or if you're, as we'll see in the next slide, when you start to really ask, what city do they live in? Again, the car they drive, the work that they do, the school that they went to, their professional experience. What you're getting is a picture of who they are ideally. And when you describe that individual, and that individual could be the type of person who's giving you the most business already, or the type of person that you want to reach, that you feel is going to be your ideal client. Now, when you have described him or her, that becomes your target market that you want to pursue. So that is your avatar. Make sure you do the homework. It'll take a few minutes, but you don't want to find that needle in the haystack if you don't know exactly where that needle could be in the community. Now, you want to create your community. You want to connect with them offline and online, and vice versa. You can do both. From social media, you can bring them into live events. From live events, or from meeting them in the elevator, you can bring them onto social community. You can bring them back onto your email list. You can take them to your website, and back and forth. You want to create that continuity in your community by connecting and following and liking and tagging. Always give value first. Invite them to events. Invite them into opt-in, because you're giving away something great for them to give you their email address, something of value, some sort of 7 secrets you have to know before you, etc. Offer them incredible value, giveaways. Naturally, you want to generate leads. So let's move on to the next slide. You want to monetize. So when you're creating leads, you want to get into your monetization. And now here's where the rubber really hits the road. You want to attract people who know you, like you, and trust you. You read that in the beginning. That's your ultimate goal. How do you take people from a lead source, from a prospect source, from someone who is looking at doing business with you, to becoming your customer and a client? And they do that because they know, like, and trust you. Once you provide them with immense value, you will then ask for a referral. And that's when you want to build them to becoming that raving fan who wants to bring people to you without you even asking. So when in monetizing, you want to fill in the blanks when you, again, are asking for a referral, but a class, a session, an ebook, a consultation, people on board, and to provide value to start the communication and the conversation. Okay? So again, with email marketing, follow up, promote, integration with social media, list building, autoresponders, events, sign up forms, list segmentation. And let's move forward real fast because we've got quite a few slides to cover. Why email marketing? We talked about it. Keep in touch with your customers, offer them coupons, discounts, special events. The money is in the follow-up. If you haven't heard that the fortune's in the follow-up, it is. If you are getting out there and picking up all those cards and you're meeting a lot of people, but they stay stuck in the drawer because you don't have time to call the 15 people you meet every day, or the 3 people you meet every day, well, if they're not on an email list, you don't have to call them. But every time you send an email, they hear from you with some great contribution that you want to take a look at. So the fortune is in the follow-up. It's really the best way to keep in touch. It's the hub and the glue that will keep all of your social media and your website together. You want to transition from the one-to-one to the one-to-many with email marketing, and then you want to move them through the different social media and the many-to-many. What is an autoresponder? We talked about it. It automates your follow-up. It's a third-party mailing program designed to deliver a large number of email messages without doing the BCC or the CC thing by mistake. It really is the professional way to go. It can even tell you when people open up your emails, how many people open up your emails, who's sharing and forwarding and re-forwarding your emails, how many times they open up your emails. There's lots of interesting statistics you can find out about, and then segment your customers and have social campaigns, events, and surveys to know what your customers are looking for. Again, we use Constant Contact. 60 days free. If you want to give it a shot, you can connect with me on any of the social media, and we can set you up. But there's so many more different ones that you can try. Why do you need a third-party email program? Again, Outlook, Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo, they're not designed for the mass email messaging. You're limited in the number of emails you can send at a time. You're susceptible to filters and blockages, and you can be undelivered without notice. You don't even know, whereas when you use some of the services, you know what's being delivered, what's not being delivered, the percentages, etc. You can track and report your results. And if your messages are perceived as spam, entire corporate email servers can be blocked by ISPs, which you can worry about if you're sending it from work, but also with Gmail itself in your own email address as well. So be careful. I think the biggest thing is that it's not professional and cannot handle the capacity when you start to get into email lists that can be that are now big, and you want to track results naturally and segment. Where should you focus? Most new and growing businesses focus on acquisition. However, most profits are generated by repeat customers. Every business knows they need to keep relationships going, and they don't know how to budget the time and the money. And how often have you heard that it takes, in the industry statistic is this, it's 7 times more expensive to acquire a new client, as you'll see in the next slide, than to keep an existing one. So you want to keep the existing ones, because to acquire a new client, it does take 7 times more expense. You want to increase the retention and yields, 25 to 100%. Repeat customers spend 2/3 more. So here's the advantages of keeping your clients versus always being on the prowl and hunting new ones. After 10 purchases, the customer's already referred up to 7 people. What does that mean to you in your business? How do you develop it? Email, marketing, and social media strategies. Because all too often, the customer retention only becomes a strategy once the customer's already left, and it's too late to even save it. So you want to determine your newsletter frequency, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, lots of educational content, typically non-proportional. promotional frequency, bi-monthly or bi-weekly announcements, promotional, educational, targeted messages, invitations, special events. You want to take a look at intermingling all of that stuff so that you can, and you know, a lot of it will come from testing and testing and testing. Your frequency versus delivery, your maximum impact versus minimum intrusion. Many people get away. Myself, for instance, if you choose to opt in into my email list, you can go to, again, remember that most expensive piece of real estate? ashsilva.com, my first and last name.com, as you should have it. And if you end up on my email list by opting in there, you'll see I send out email messages just about every single day. And some people get away with it, other people will have a huge opt-out. So depending on what you're sending, my stuff is very valuable. My stuff is inspirational. My stuff invites you to events, whether they're real life physical events, and because you know me, you get in free, or online events, and because you know me, you get in free. And it's definitely valuable stuff that will benefit you in growing your business, because everything I'm going to send you will be stuff that will grow your business, help you to connect to more income, strategies, opportunities, resources. And so determine what is the minimum intrusion versus the maximum impact. How often are you going to send? Create a schedule and take a look at your newsletters. Are they going to go out monthly, quarterly? Is a different type of thing? Announcements, mid-morning, day, evening, night. When is your audience most likely to pick up? Tuesday and Wednesday is usually a great day on the hump of the week versus the end of the week or the beginning of the week. And the time of the day, once they've cleared their coffee or cleared their desk, gotten a few calls out of the way, the 10 to 3 zone slot is a good time to actually, you know, for email opening. Permission. What is it and why do you need it? There is an implied permission and an explicit. So what is the difference between explicit and implicit permission? The explicit is where they've physically opted into your website or sign-up form, onto your email list, or on some of your social media. It's very easy to put opt-ins on your Facebook page, etc. They join your email list, and of course they want to receive your information from time to time. They've let you know explicitly that they want to hear from you. Implicit is what many of us do, including myself. I go to a lot of networking events and we pick up cards and off we go. So they're requests for information, registration forms, existing customer relationships. Now, it's important that always make sure that there is some sort of permission given. Don't just take a card anymore and think that that is implied, that because they gave you a card, they want to be on your email list, because we've got, of course, the CAN-SPAM legislation and CASL, which is the Canadian anti-spam legislation that's coming out, and it's actually going to be in full force on July the 1st, 2014. So you really want to take a look at moving into the area of explicit permission, and that's very important, of course, in your email marketing. You want to evaluate the results. Naturally, it's not all about mailing on the front end. You want to keep statistics and open rates, and you want to take a look at how you're influencing your open rates from the subject line to delivery time, and the, you know, what day and time you're sending your emails. Naturally, overuse, age, quality, and you want to watch these trends over time. That'll make you an expert, at least in evaluating and analyzing your own list. You want to keep separate lists for prospects, buyers, and repeat buyers, because there's certain offers you want to send the people that haven't bought from you yet. There's other offers and emails you want to send from your buyers, your customers, your clients. It'll be more on the appreciation side, with maybe something to, you know, offer them an opportunity to refer people that they know and give them a bonus for doing so. You don't want to offer the referral opportunity to people who haven't bought from you yet. So get to really know and segment who it is that you're dealing with and at what stage in the buying cycle they are at, if you want to get really, really good at that. We got to get into, after email marketing, naturally being the hub, where are you driving everything into? I would recommend this is the most important thing you want to take a look at. Whether it's on social media and all of the platforms that we're going to be covering in session 2, here's the important thing. No matter where you meet them, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Google+, you want to bring them back to ashsilva.com. Your first and last name.com. Your name of the business.com or .ca. Your whatever it is that you do, your website.com. That's your WordPress, that's your blog. And WordPress, again, is only because it's a very, very, very juicy, as Google calls it, to spider a WordPress blog. It's easy to post. It's really a great template to use in your blog where you, and so you want to get into having a site that you want to bring everybody to, and that's your blog or your WordPress site, how to post on your blog, monetizing, and how to set up your blog. You want to get into, of course, registering your domain name. I don't know where you register. It could be GoDaddy or a number of different places. Hosting, we use Bluehost, and there's an incredible opportunity for if you want to host at very inexpensive prices, you might want to take a look at using Bluehost as well. But there's a host of other opportunities available for you to host your websites. It's not expensive at all. It can be as low as $5 a month. Again, your mail, your autoresponder integration, your videos, and your pictures. Your company website, once again, could be your primary blog, or it could be different from your primary blog. It is now your company name or what it is that you do.com. And again, the primary purpose of your website is to promote your business. You want to provide a contact form for your clients and a phone number naturally to reach you live. A lot of people have forms out there, have a phone number. It's always, for someone who wants to reach you by phone, it's the most frustrating thing just to have a form on your website. You want to showcase your business, your products, your services. You want to sell directly. If you've got an e-commerce platform for your products and services, you can integrate that into your company website. You want to collect leads with the opt-in page. Naturally, you want to have a landing page for all of your social media leads. Remember, you're driving everybody from all of the social media engagement. You might have an article that you write and say, hey, for more information, click, or read the rest of the story, or see more, click here. Once you deliver the first paragraph, bring them back to your blog from all of your social media posts, because that ultimately is what belongs to you. Social media can shut you down tomorrow for being too friendly. It's happened to the friendliest of us, or whatever it is. They can go into paid services. You don't know what's happening tomorrow, but you do know more than social media anyway of what will happen at your blog because you own that domain name. Okay? Want to generate income, you want to rent it out. There's many, many ways to monetize in buying and selling websites. This can be a course all on its own. Think about it this way, that website is actually a piece of real estate. Think about an investing in real estate course that can take an entire weekend and take an entire lifetime to really develop the art of. Well, that's exactly what this is. So as a very peripheral approach, you want to buy low, sell high. Business.com was initially bought and sold at $150,000, and then it was actually bought for free when it was free to register domain names. Now, is that a cool story or what? And they sold it for $150,000. It was then, bought and sold for $7.5 million. To make a long story short, with different put options that can happen more in the investing side of things, but it can happen with websites too. And it went on and on to be sold for $10 million, after which the person that sold it went on to start ClickBank, which is the largest affiliate opportunity right now, which we will be covering briefly, but there's a whole course that can be taught on how to do affiliate marketing, which basically means how do you sell other people's products and services and make money. How can you be a yoga instructor, but when the nutritionist and the psychotherapist and the Ayurvedic doctor or the homeopathy or the chiropractor or the fitness instructors sell, you sell their products and their services, how do you make money? Which can all be tracked. So, different ball game altogether, but just recognize that the buying and selling of websites is a game all on its own, and you can do it if you understand your health and wellness game with peripheral websites, etc., to generate income. And of course, you want to search engine optimize it so that you can make money, you can rent out those sites, etc. Lots you can do with it. So, search, I'm sorry, not so, SEO, SEO, search engine optimization. Why and how? Well, you want to rank in Google, first of all, because Google is the one that most people go to first to find out if you exist. So you want to go to Google to rank. You want to show up on the first page of Google. Nobody goes to the second page. Have you ever gone to Google and clicked on the second page? Matter of fact, have you ever gone to Google and actually clicked on the on the bottom half? You usually actually just take what is on the first fold, is what it's called, and that's what actually appears on your desktop or your laptop screen when you do the initial search, which is basically, you know, your first 5 or 6 searches, and that's it. Aside from that, if you've got ads on top and on the side, you're just getting drowned out there. So how do you appear and how do you rank on Google with search engine optimization? There are other ways, and I think the best way is to buy advertising, and there's so many inexpensive ways to do it, which we could easily talk about some other time. But because that right there is a game all on its own. But again, search engine optimization is something that you want to take a look at if it's important to you. You can generate organic traffic where you get found because of the keywords and the quality of your keywords, etc. It's a whole science behind it, and how by using strategic domain names, by using long tail keywords, by using backlinks, etc., and knowing what words you want to get found for, and getting specific about words, and not just using the word wellness, but you want to use, you know, massage in Toronto, or back massage, or registered massage therapist on the Danforth in Toronto, etc. So the more you can create those keyword sequences, the better it is that you can rank, and the more inexpensively you can rank for those. There's a whole science and an art of doing that as well. SEO has turned into a science again, a profession all on its own, and Google here does not like people gaming the system. So you want to be genuine in how you rank on Google, and there's a number of things you can do with getting listed in directories and buying seasoned domains. One of the things you can do is, instead of renewing your domain name for 1 year, you can renew your domain name for 5 years. That's how complicated and yet simple it can get. That Google takes a look at whether you've renewed your domain name for 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, or 2 years. It can spy that already. And if you renewed for 5 years, it knows you have an intent of staying in business for a longer time than 1 year, where most spammers will take it for a year and they want to abandon those sites. So there's a whole bunch that goes into those analytics. What to put up on my website? The best and the biggest thing you want to put up is the opt-in form to collect leads. It's called the ethical bribe, where you give away a free ebook, and there's lots of stuff, including Think and Grow Rich and the Science of Getting Rich, and some of those great documents that are iconic in what people want, and in the health and wellness world as well. There is so much you can do in terms of great ebooks that you might have also written, which can start with the 7 secrets of, or the 9 secrets to, or what you must know before you go to a chiropractor, or before you get your next massage, etc. So the free ebook, the sample chapter out of a book so that they buy the rest of it, the sample training, the product sample that can be shipped out to them. There's a number of ways to offer an incentive to collect an email list, because once you've got that email list, you've got someone that's potentially a part of your community, or definitely someone you can email again and again and again until they opt out, of course, automatically. and they don't want to be a part of the community anymore. But that is the key, is you want to have that opportunity to be in touch with them. How do you do it? And then once you've got them, you want great content. Fresh, relevant content is critical. Why? Because Google loves it. If you're updating your website on a weekly basis, wow, Google loves it, because every time the spider comes crawling, it's getting new information, new content, and people call it Google Juice. So you want to do it every day? Wow, much better. Take the time, if that's what you're writing, is your views every day, if you're a thought leader or a trusted authority, or you're one of those people that wants to build a reputation of where other people are going to come for that niche information, well, then the more often you update it, the better Google loves you, and the better your following loves you. Again, blog, pictures, videos. Google can rank videos right now, so you want to get into that. And you want to get into your website creation. It is something you may not want to do yourself because it can get complicated. Sometimes it just pays to bite the bullet and get someone who knows it to do it for you. And naturally, you want to hire an expert or a professional to do the work, but it's you that has to provide the content of what would go in there, because no one knows you or your business or what you want people to see and find you for than yourself. So the design and all can all be contracted out. Well, there's easy ways to do it on WordPress as well that you can learn, but it depends on where you want to waste your time or invest your time or spend your time. So you want to learn how to manage and post, or someone on your staff can do it. Have good backups in case that site goes out and you lose your hosting somehow. Brand it to your business, congruent with all of your media and your platforms. So start to take a look at how your business is being viewed. Start to take a look at, no matter where people go. Are they finding you on the blog and the website? Is there a certain thematic to it? Is there a certain color to it? When they find you on social media, is it the same color? Is it the same theme? Is it the same logo? Is it the same profile picture? Yes. So people start to recognize the brand of Robert Kiyosaki for Rich Dad Poor Dad with that color purple. Anytime we see it, it's boom. So how is that trigger working for you? Are you in the greenish type of business? What can you take a look at with how you can separate and brand yourself as the health and wellness expert in your particular niche? The difference between a blog and a website, a blog is really a short form for a web log. A web log, which is basically something that's more dynamic, where a website is static, it's got some information, and it stays that way. The reason you want a blog or the web log is because it's constantly changing. Why? Because you're constantly updating it. It's interactive. It gives people a chance to search it, maybe leave a comment, maybe have the comments go back and forth, maybe do some stuff right on your page and engage with you right on your page, whether it's to call or chat with you, etc. So, and that's what Google loves. So again, you want to keep it dynamic in the form of a blog, and take advantage of all that. How do you create a blog? Fairly easy. You can go to blogger.com. It's a Google property. It's free. WordPress.com is free. It's simple. You can be blogging in a few minutes. Although the expansion is limited. The reason I would recommend WordPress.org is, even though you have to bring your own theme to the table or into WordPress.org, you actually own that domain, and you can put your own domain in there. You can actually have ashsilva.com, where you can't do it with WordPress.com, because with Blogger or WordPress.com, you have to have that domain name with a / Ash Silva. So you're really promoting another brand and not just your own. And there's a lot more that can be done. There's a ton of rules and regulations. Like with WordPress.com, you can't be a commercial enterprise. You can't make money. You can't be in business. Whereas with .org, you can. Okay? So it's really the place to go. And if you take a look at it, 25% of all websites in the world, and I believe the number of websites are about 700 million in the world. So 3/4 billion websites in the world, out of which 25% are on WordPress. Must say something about the type of template that WordPress is that you should be using. Okay? Now, blogging is a business. So now no longer are you no longer are you just in your blog talking about your own business, talking about your yoga practice, talking about your nutrition and counseling others right on the site. You are now blogging for dollars. You've become the expert in your niche. You're actually building the blog as a business, and you're building an online asset that can be sold. Naturally, it is an asset that can cash flow because you've got advertising running on that site. You've got you know, backlinks coming out there. You've got paid promotional advertising. You've got Google ads happening on that site if you want, and we'll cover that more when we get into the advertising part in the next session. But you're leveraging for the long term as you're building it, and it truly is an incredible way to rise to the top of whatever your niche is in health and wellness. So as you're taking a look at who you are, take a look at what is your very, very, very fine niche that you can be the best at, the trusted authority, the expert. And you want to build your blog so that your clients and your followers follow you on that blog. Again, the Pareto principle is where 80% of your money comes from 20% of your clients. And it works in so many ways. I mean, and it actually works in reverse, where 20% of your money comes from 80% of your clients. So slice and dice it any way you want. You want to focus on the 20% of your business, bringing in 80% of your revenues. Interestingly, it works in your health and wellness life as well, with extrapolating the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. So you want to leverage as well your relationship marketing to increase traffic and build links, social media, other blogs, guest blogging, people coming on and blogging on with you, and naturally you blogging on other people's websites as well, where you can have what is known as a backlink from their website to you and your site, and Google loves that because it establishes you as an authority more and more if you're on these other sites with a link coming back to your site. You want to always give before expecting to receive, and you want to write consistently 2 or 3 times a week. How do you choose your blog topic? Well, what are you passionate about, or what do you want to profit from? Don't those two become the biggest questions that you can ask? Well, the question that you must ask is, well, what is important to you? I've always found that if you put money before your passion, that business is if not doomed to fail, it is absolutely doomed to satisfy you in the way life could and should. So I would recommend you want to take a look at how do you make money only after doing it because you're doing something you're passionate about. And if you're so passionate about it, you will be the best at it, you'll become great at it, where you will inadvertently start to make money with it. So you want to find the right balance or the overlap naturally, because it is about monetization as well. It's I find many health and wellness professionals are so passionate about their passion that they forget about making money. They're so passionate about their passion that they forget about asking for money. They're even too shy to ask for money. You want to automate the process? Well, you can do it definitely on your website and through your social media as well, to at least monetize the trickle and the stream and the river that flows into and through you, where you can then decide who and which of the people that are coming in that community that you're building you want to service and offer your products and services to. So you want to find topics that you are passionate about and profitable at the same time. Focus on giving value, 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 and the rule is that the money will follow. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of part 1. We've gone over our time, again, delivering much more value than we promised. And I promise you one thing, when we take a look at part 2, you are going to flip, because we're going to get into the various platforms that we will. So we will say goodbye for now, and we shall see you on the other side on side 2.